Are you in, Poonam? Can you please put your audio and video on?
Hello.
Yes, hi, Poonam.
Hi, ma'am. Sorry for the delay.
No, that's all right. It was a little at the last minute. Can I see you on the video?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, hi, Poonam.
Hi.
Hi. So, you work with Jay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, what exactly is your role?
I am a senior manager over there,
Okay.
and I look after the entire correspondence and entire the financial part of the company.
Okay. Okay. Great. Right. So, we are joined by Dr. Saumil, and we have another student. He might join in a bit because he's commuting at the moment. And the third student has taken leave today. So she will not be there, Anju, but Samal is here and Dharmesh will join in as and when it becomes convenient for him. Right. So
Yeah.
yesterday, Poonam, just for your benefit and even for Samal's benefit, we talked about how to find our focus in writing. Right.
Hmm.
I have sent a link to Jay for yesterday's session. You can always take it from him and revise it.
Yeah.
We also talked about the 7 C's of communication, right? The 7 key principles which is required in any form of communication, be it verbal or be it written, right? So essentially, it means your messaging must be complete, it must be clear, it must be concrete, concise, considerate, courteous, right?
Yeah.
Uh, we had discussed various examples and we tried to understand what it means to be clear, what it means to be complete, so on and so. Today we are getting into a little deeper waters and actually we are going to see what is the email etiquette and we are going to talk about messaging, how to deal with different kinds of messaging, which we see in our professional workspace, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we start, Samil? Hello. Okay. Now, why does this happen? I talk to people and they vanish. So you are also in Nasik, Poonam?
Yeah, I am also from Nasik.
Where do you stay in Nasik?
I stay at Gangapur Road.
Oh, okay. I have lived in Nasik for a long time,
Okay.
30 years.
So,
Jay was my student,
Ari.
taught him in school.
Ah,
Yes. So I saw him. The last I had seen him, he had just finished college or was going for higher studies. Before that, of course, I saw him in his studies. So it was nice to see him all grown up and going gray. Somil, are you there? We'll just wait a minute.
yeah.
Okay, Dharmesh is also joining us. So, what are the things generally that irritate you about emails? I've put 3 things, but you can tell more.
Yeah.
Tell me what are the things you get irritated?
Like with the specifically with the starting point,
No, no, I'm not saying
how to start
how
it.
to write. I'm not saying you.
Huh.
When you receive emails, what are the things that irritate you?
That irritate me.
Yeah.
As if
Like I'll give you an example. Most of the time people write, please find attached, and there is no attachment.
Oh,
Yes. Or if at all there is an attachment, you don't know in what format it is and whether your machine will support it or not.
yeah, there are such types of mails we receive.
Yes,
And
they
very
will send files which, those apps are not there with you, or that software is not there with you, and it doesn't support, your machine doesn't support it,
Mhm.
right? So, Aman,
Yeah.
what about you? What other things get your hackles rising? तो and
That will be
हमारा
the next
reaction होता है
example
कि
of attachment. That the attachment was a basic example.
हाँ,
Attachment being
आपकी
there.
आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है अब
Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Okay, now we are able to hear you.
Yes. So I guess I'm struggling with some network, so I'm not able to do this. Sometimes there is no content to the attachment, so I do not understand the context many a times.
हाँ,
The
okay.
subject is missing,
Why
context
the
is missing.
attachment has been given?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Right. What else?
Even spelling mistakes, do annoy
Spelling
me.
mistakes. Yes. You have to figure out what is there.
Yes.
Even sometimes they are not reading completely what we have sent to them, and then are asking again and again about
They
the
ask
same.
the same thing again and again.
Yeah, which
Okay.
make us more irritated.
Yeah, that is more your fault than their fault. See, subject line is not clear. You don't know what it is saying X, but the content is Y, right?
Yeah.
Many times
Yes.
people will prefix every mail with urgent.
Ah.
And you open that mail and then you find out, oh, it's something very routine,
It happens.
which could have been tackled a little earlier because you have something else on your plate, which is very urgent, which is genuinely urgent. And people have this habit, every mail they will write urgent. Right?
Yeah.
Gentle reminders. Right? And then a lot of people will send you a mail and then they will start phoning you. Mail mila, mail mila.
Yeah, yeah. Reconfirmations.
And you're in the middle of something and some important discussion is going on and this guy, arey mail bheja hai. Okay.
Yeah, that is also there.
Yeah. Anything else? Sometimes people who don't know, they will use colorful text. They use colorful text, or they will underline every second, third word or line. They will unnecessarily use caps, capital letters, or they will highlight so many portions that the whole mail is very colorful. वो लिखा तो ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट है, लेकिन आपके सामने येलो, पिंक, ग्रीन, ब्लू आता है.
Yeah, आता है ना.
है ना?
Yeah.
And it's very irritating, right? So because we don't know when to use these tools, right?
Yeah.
So if we look at the major irritants, no email, no attachment, bad subject lines, long messages, and then they're not clear, what do you want me to do? Why do you want me to read the story, right?
Yeah.
Unessential CC and mailing list, my God, this is a demon, right? Why
Yeah.
do you think people do that?
To be on a safer side.
To be on the safer side, yeah, everybody loves to cover their ass. More often than not, it is sheer negligence, because what happens many times, we see when we introduce a mail, a topic or an issue, the trail mail follows. And it is addressed to the team because there are people who are working together on that particular issue or project. But from time to time, we keep getting people from other departments or from other areas joining in for a specific time period. So we include their mail ID, but we forget to remove it when their work is over. You must have also experienced this. You joined somebody for very small time for one specific activity, but then for next 6 months, you will keep getting all those mails.
Correct.
Right? You have finished, your contribution is done, you're done with that job. And then you keep irritating, अरे यार क्यों मेरे को भेजता है, अभी क्या करना है मुझे इससे? Sometimes it is like Somil said, to be on the safe side. Sometimes it is, oh, let the whole world know what a big gun I am.
Yeah, that is the most true answer on that.
Yeah, and especially, people do that when they are, किसी की लगाते हैं ना, complain करना है या कुछ करना है. So they will write stinkers. Those mails are called stinkers, right? And then they will put the whole world ka CC because they want the people to know, look, and then they'll go out and say, देखा क्या मैंने उसको कैसे झाड़ा? People are not really interested in your conflicts. It's a waste of my time. What am I going to do with it? Right? Mailing lists are again very irritating. Because that list, we don't know whether everybody in that list is connected with that issue or not. So people who have nothing to do with it also unnecessarily we fill their inbox. And then you have so many mails per page. Many a times you miss the real critical ones because most of it is garbage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, people misuse mailing lists because mailing lists are always very big and people will pick out email IDs of people they don't know but they want to know, and then they will keep sending them mails and harassing them. So confidentiality is at risk here, and a lot of people don't like it, especially when you're dealing with the senior people. You cannot give away their email IDs like that. Right? So you have to be very careful at what point are you using the mailing list and for what purpose. Then salutation is inappropriate. I am a lady, but I'm addressed as sir. It's because we don't bother to find out who's going to receive it. Many a times you don't get clarity because you will get an email ID as support team at so-and-so, right? Or help at so-and-so. We don't know who we are talking to. Or sometimes there are common gender names. कमल सल्डाना, अभी कमल लड़की का भी नाम हो सकता है, लड़के का भी हो सकता है ना? मुझे एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं है, मैंने सर लिख दिया, वहां मैडम बैठी है. Right? Like I get all mails Mrs. So and so. And I mean, earlier when I was young, I used to get very offended. I'm Miss. I'm not Mrs. So I'm not married. Now it doesn't matter. I'm like, Jane do. Right? But it's not appropriate, isn't it? Inappropriate punctuations, grammar, as Somil said, spellings are a big problem. You have to figure out. Delayed responses. We'll talk about responses again today, but delayed responses, right? And bad formatting. Some people will use a font size that is so small, you have to look for a magnifying glass. Keep zooming to read. And some are so big that you're like, huh? You have to, go back to see the screen. in our modern times, email is a very critical tool. If you don't know how to use it properly, it can make or break an opportunity for you. Right? Very often, email is your representative. It stands in your place. So, because we deal with people whom probably we will never meet face to face. But in such a instance, what I write in the email when I communicate with that person is what my personality gets decided. So that person will judge you basis your messaging. Right? So we have to be very careful. We are always in a hurry to press that enter and shoot. Some people take great pride. They sit the whole day. अरे बहुत email करना है, बहुत email करना है. The whole day they're sitting and shooting mails for what God knows. So what is email etiquette? Email etiquette is essential because 30% of our professional time goes on emails, right? And it is overlooked in the name of productivity. Given the fact that 30 to 40% of our time is on emails, our messaging is so bad and so off the mark that it affects our productivity. The results that we get in turn are not justified by that presence, isn't it? हम तो 8 में से 6 घंटा बैठ के ईमेल कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हमको उसका रिस्पॉन्स क्या आ रहा है? At what speed is your work progressing? That doesn't happen, right? It helps you to make your communication professional. Now, this word professional is a very, you know, what shall I say, most misunderstood word. Right? What do you understand by professional, by the way? Somil, Poonam, both?
Very formal.
Formal? Okay.
It's not very formal. It's a professional. I don't think so. It's a formal.
No, it is formality.
It's a professional in the sense perfect in each and everything in a very professional way. Even I'm not getting a right word, but a perfect person.
Yeah. Very often professional is understood as very focused, like you said,
Yeah,
perfect.
perfect.
Probably what
Yeah.
you wanted to say was focused.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But very many times when we use this word, we imply that that person is heartless, emotionless, feelingless. He's very professional.
Yeah.
He will not understand your side of the story. He is a thorough professional, which means he can be selfish. He can be not sensitive to your situation or your understanding or your feelings, which is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Professional means you're a professional when you do your job as you are required to do. When you perform your role as per the requirement of that role. And in that, everything comes: care, empathy, sympathy, consideration, everything comes. Right?
Yeah.
Make it effective and efficient. You need to work on that. And you need to avoid costly mistakes because email is a documented proof. And once the send button is hit, it is gone. It is written on stone. You cannot bring it back.
Yeah.
वो बोलते हैं ना, तीर निकल गया, अब वापस नहीं आएगा. तो अगर आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया, if you are not careful, it can be very, very costly for you. Right? Okay. So etiquette anyways means our behavior or the manner in which we conduct ourselves. So email etiquette is about our behavior or the principles that guide us in sending and receiving emails. Now, what are these guidelines about? They are about language, spelling, grammar, and manners, good manners. Like yesterday, we were talking about courtesy, consideration, right? All of these are a very important part of email etiquette. Okay. Why all this is necessary? Because it improves your clarity, it brings efficiency, it improves your image. If you are writing good, impactful emails, you will be seen as a productive, efficient, knowledgeable professional, right? So it helps you build your image and it protects you from legal liability. Like I said, it is a written document. It is admissible in any court in the world, right? So it can work in your favor also. Alternately, if you misuse it, it can land you in trouble, right? And it establishes professionalism and helps you to work, create better relationships, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go very fast on this because I want to spend a little more time on messaging because basic etiquettes you all know, right? The most important thing is a clear subject line, right? We put the 33% of email recipients open the mail based on subject line only. If they find the subject line relevant, they will open the mail. If not, they will keep it for later and probably forget about it. Or they will open that email when they find it convenient and you may not get the response you are expecting at the time you are expecting. Right? So it is necessary to be very appropriate, right? We know where to write, right? So what does it do? It tells the recipient what the email is about, based on which he will decide whether I have to open it now, later, or not at all. Increases the chances of their opening your email. So if your subject line is apt, correct, relevant, he will see, the receiver will see the importance and open the mail. So the chances go high. The rule is to keep it simple and short. And it should be specific to the content of your email. नहीं तो subject line है बॉम्बे के बारे में लिखा है कोलकाता के बारे में वो नहीं चलता है ना? So basically the rule is not more than 8 words. Right? Because the screen is that much. So it should be clearly visible and it should be completed within that space. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो continuation में मुझे लोग paragraph लिखते हैं.
Wow.
हाँ, they write 2 lines also. Now people have become more conversion, but I have seen that. Right? So not more than 8 words. Should be relevant to your main message. It should summarize the content of your email. Right? And it should help the recipient to quickly identify your mail in the inbox. So during our work, we are maybe with the same person. I'm talking to Saumil. I'm sending him 10 mails, but out of those 10 mails, I'm talking to him on 5 different issues. So those 10 mails, there is a possibility that out of those 5, I may have 4 mails based on one topic and the others may be single mails. So I should be able to, next time if I want to refer to that mail, I should be able to find it in my inbox very fast. So how will that be possible? So I need to have 1 or 2 words that will help the receiver identify what is the topic, right? For example, Saumil, renovation in Nagpur branch or
Right.
recent renovations in Nagpur branch. Now, this is very
Correct.
clear, isn't it?
Very precise.
Absolutely precise, right? So, next time when you're thinking about this, that headline will hit you very fast and it will be easy for you to open that mail. Otherwise, you will keep on opening 10 mails that I have sent you. नहीं ये नहीं है, नहीं ये नहीं है, नहीं ये नहीं है. फिर आप फिल्टर डालोगे, डेट देखोगे, फोन करोगे, कौन से डेट पे भेजा था, है ना? तो वो भी डिफिकल्ट होता है, right? Sir, are some examples of headlines. Minutes from today's meeting. I will further improve it and say minutes of the meeting held on such and such date. Full date. Date, month, and year. Na? Update on development on the XYZ project. Discussion pending on XYZ issue. Otherwise, we just write discussion pending. What discussion? I'm having 100 discussions a day. Which one are you talking about? Kindly send the details of your expenses, right? Purchase invoice attached. If you want to name the particular purchase invoice, you can name that also, right? Provided it fits into that 8-word rule, right? Professional greetings. That is the next. Formal, casual, but never informal. We tend to think informal as casual. Huh? It's not the same. Right? So formal will be, of course, right? Common greetings are Ms., Mrs., or Mr., hello, first name, or hi, first name. Nowadays, we follow the American system. But if you are working with a global market, you have to be very clear because the British don't like this kind of informality. Even the Europeans don't like it. Right? Though it is becoming the norm now, right? And if you're writing to that person the first time, definitely you cannot use the first name. So you have to be careful, right? So casual will be, okay, hi, Somil, right? Or hello, Poonam, right? Informal, some people write, hi, yeah, hello, yo, man, right? Because what is happening is people are very influenced by Americanism. So people respond, they don't say yes, they say yeah. Which in the professional context is absolutely no. I'm gonna do that. What do you mean by I'm gonna? उनको लगता है हम बहुत modern हो गए, बहुत hip हो गए, बहुत professional हो गए, but even in American workplace, they don't use that. That's an informal language. It's not used in the workplace. So we have to be very careful. हम वो Hollywood का picture देख देख के अंग्रेजी उठा लेते हैं. But you have to understand, right? So be careful of that American influence, right? Okay. What is this saying? Yeah, don't forget to introduce yourself. Sometimes we keep writing to new people. So don't just write, hi, I want to talk to you about this. Who are you? Why should he know you? Right? So you need to give a short line or two with that relevant information. And if you're writing the first time, you definitely have to write who you are. If you know the recipient, but you're not quite sure if they remember you. We go out in networking events, we meet people and we feel, oh, this guy is important, possible, potential customer, I should write to him. But it's not necessary that he or she will remember you. So you have to refresh their memory. So talk about when you met them last. Remind what was the discussion you had. You don't have to give the full discussion, right? For example, yeah. Hello, Dr. Somil. Yeah, I am Rachna. right? And it was a pleasure to meet you in the doctors' meet held last Thursday by so and so and so and so, right? और ज्यादा मेरे को स्मूथ करना है तो I will also, and if you spoke over there, so I will write your opinions or your views on this topic were really very enlightening, right? Or they were worth noting. If you didn't speak and you were only part of the audience, then you'll just write, it was great to meet you and have an interaction with you on this topic, right? And then you can talk about the purpose of why you are writing today, right? So we have to bring that context, right? Like example, I'm Jay Raghuvanshi from This India Travels. My colleague from the marketing department, Mr. Ved Prakash, told me that you're interested in our tour planning services, right? Now, obviously, Mr. Ved Prakash and Somil know each other. Okay. Right? So now I can pick up the thread from here and talk about whatever I want to propose. Okay. Now, adding your signature, I'm sure all of you have this, right? Your name, designation, company name, logo, if at all you are using. Don't make it colorful. You can use basic colors of red and blue. It's okay. If it is a logo, it can be colorful. Otherwise, stick to black. It is always advisable, right? But people tend to use colors over there. Uh, Set up your email to automatically include. I think this everybody does that, right? Format it to look similar to the rest of the content. So font type, size, style, all should be same. Nowadays, we begin our signature with sincerely or best regards. Yours sincerely has now become outdated. Sometimes we just write regards. That's okay. Yours sincerely, yours faithfully, yours most faithfully is gone with the British. We don't use it anymore, right? What do we mean when we write sincerely? It is a way of authenticating the content you have put before that. It implies that I'm sincere about whatever I'm sharing. When I say regards, what I mean to say is I respect you. Right? So I acknowledge your authority. I understand you have an esteem. Right? So it's not just a formality. Understand. If you understand the meaning behind those words, it will somehow reflect in your tone. Standard formatting, right? Font color, size. It is advisable to stick to these 5: Arial, Helvetica, Calibri, Courier, Times New Roman. Please don't use Comic Sans. Don't use those curly, the serif fonts. Stick to non-serif. These are the ideal. Black is the default color. Use soft yellow to highlight specific portion of the text, not the whole portion. So it could be part of a sentence, maybe 2 or 3 words, phrases, but people highlight the whole paragraph. And don't use psychedelic green and blue. Yellow is appropriate in the professional context, right? Use text bold, underlined or italic only for words and phrases, not sentences, right? And if you're making words bold, don't use capital letters. What is the use of capital letters? What does it denote? Unless it is a proper name. Proper names can be capital. But other than that, if regular words and phrases you put in capital in the email context or in the virtual messaging, it is equal to shouting, which is offensive. So keep your words and phrases in the sentence form, in the lower case, but you can highlight them. or you can use bold. Bold, not more than 1 or 2 words. Definitely not sentences. Know your audience. Who are you writing to? If you are in the global work scenario, take the cultural differences into context, right? If possible, try to gain some understanding of who is your receiver. डेजिग्नेशन क्या है, उससे आपको उसका नॉलेज बेस पता लगेगा, टेक्निकल है कि नॉन टेक्निकल है, कमर्शियल साइड ऑफ द थिंग्स, सेल्स है, मार्केटिंग है, क्या है, राइट? बैकग्राउंड क्या है? हमारे हिंदुस्तान में तो इफ यू आर अ लिटिल अलर्ट and if you are well traveled, well researched, like me, I can read the surname and know which region this person comes from, right? So the surname will tell you is Gujarati, Punjabi, Sindhi, Bengalis, Tamilian है, मलयाली है, क्या है. तो एक कल्चरल कॉन्टेक्स्ट आपको उसकी क्लैरिटी आ जाती है. With English names, it's a little difficult unless they are, European. Like you can make out Italian, you can make out French, you can make out German. Okay. For that, you need to be a little well-read and exposed little to the global environment. It's easy there also. From names, you can tell which country this person comes from, right? थोड़ा understanding चाहिए. Okay, maintain a professional tone. I don't want to talk too much about this today because we'll be talking in great detail about it tomorrow. Choose your words carefully. Courtesy and be positive. Try not to use too many negative words. No, not, impossible. ज़्यादा नहीं use करना चाहिए, right? If you're angry at someone, don't respond. Use positive words like please, request, thank you. Don't use negative words, careless, failure, disappointed, right? Unless very, very necessary. Be clear. Okay. Be precise to avoid confusion. Humor. Using humor in the professional context, you have to be very careful. It's a double-edged sword and can be easily misinterpreted. I don't know what frame of mind my receiver is going to get my mail. If he's had a bad day, if he's had a rough day with his boss and you send him something with a, humorous comment, he may not be in the mood to appreciate it, right? So better to be avoided. Short and focused mails, short sentences, small paragraphs. We talked about it at length yesterday about this. State the reason for writing the email, right? And use specific references to your previous communication. So if there has been a previous communication, refer to it if it is required in the context, right? Okay. Maintain confidentiality. That is why the caution about mailing lists. Sometimes you need to write the same mail for many people. Use BCC. You know BCC, na?
Yes.
CC, all email IDs are visible, whoever you are marked. BCC, it is blank. So it will go only to the person you're writing to, but others will also get the same message. The only thing is that somebody else I will not be able to see, okay, Somila has included Poonam also, has included Dharmesh also, right? So I will not unethically use that information for my self purpose, right? Highly confidential matters, please don't put them on paper. Don't put them on email. Remember, email is a written document, recorded written document. It never goes away. Anytime it can be brought out and flashed in front of you, against you. So highly confidential matters, discuss them on phone. Secondly, emails can be forwarded. So you don't know how ethical the receiver is. He may misuse that information. He may share it with people he's not supposed to share it with. Right? So be very careful about this. Right? What you're writing and what you're not writing. ये बात हमेशा ध्यान में रखो कि आपने X को मेल लिखा है तो वो A से लेके Z तक किसी के भी पास जा सकते हैं. इसलिए सोच समझ के कंटेंट को रिवील करो. So the same applies for using CC and BCC also. Jargons and smileys and emoticons. Don't use shortcuts. The WhatsApp messaging should not be used. Right? LOL, LMAO. All this should not be used. Okay. Attachments. Mention it in the email. If you're giving an attachment, say that an email is attached. Then name the document properly. The document is named this and it is in this format. It is a PDF, it is an Excel sheet, it is a Word document, it is a PNG, it is a JPG, it is a .dat format, what it is. It is an AV file, what is it? So that that person will know whether his system can support it or not. Give appropriate file names to the attachment and double check. You know what people do? They will name the file as per their convenience. Session details. Okay, अभी मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है सेशन डिटेल्स क्या है. मैं वैसे ही उठा के भेज देगी सोमिल को. सोमिल बोलेगा कौन सा सेशन. Isn't it? Like I sent today a link on the broadcast group. What did I write? Y'all could see it as a link, but still I wrote, no? Link for today's session, link for day one recording. Okay. So you get the clarity, हाँ, इसका मुझे क्या करना है. Then large files, send a zip file, then mention that it is a zip file. And nowadays, by default, it goes through Drive, right? Google Drive. Compress होके जाता है. So be careful. Proofread all your mails. We spoke about it yesterday. Check, double check. The rule is, what is the last thing that you should write in your email?
The sender's email ID?
Huh?
The sender's email ID?
No. The last thing that you write in your email is
Content of the email.
to field. Who are you sending it to? We start with it.
No, I was saying the same thing. I could not convey.
But you use the wrong word. Senders, yes. Receivers.
Yes.
The receiver's mail ID, na? Is
Yes,
what you
yes.
meant to say. Why, Poonam?
Really, I don't have, because I won't use. I won't do that.
No, but why should we put that last? Sometimes ना गलती से हमारा वो send हो जाता है, enter.
हाँ, in the mid while writing.
कभी कभी क्या होता है, अगर हमने पहले to field भर दिया, आधा मेल जाता है, आधा नहीं, फिर रह जाता है. फिर हमको दोबारा से लिखना पड़ता है, फिर उसको बोलना पड़ता है वो वाला मत खोलना, उसमें आधा ही मैसेज आया है. इसलिए जब पूरा लिख लो, प्रूफ रीड कर लो, and you're satisfied that yes, now it is good to go, only then fill the to column. To avoid such disasters, which happen by accident. So if you do that initially consciously, it will become a habit. Like when I write emails, the first thing I write is the subject line. Then I write the mail. Then I check for the attachments if there are any, right? Then I will go to the CC and to. When I'm absolutely satisfied that, yes, this is the final version, this is what I need to send out. So now it has become a habit. Respond to all emails in time. This is the rule. How many of you said, हाँ, ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? Somil, आया दिमाग में? I said respond. I didn't say reply. So understand the difference between respond and reply. So when you get a mail, I think nowadays you have the facility of setting a response also.
Yeah, auto response.
Just like how we do a voicemail, right? That received and I will revert. If not, just type in the word noted. If you think the matter is urgent, but you cannot look at it right away, give that person the time. Okay, we'll respond before EOD or before lunch or after lunch. अब क्या होगा जब ये उसको मिल जाएगा ना, तो वो फोन उठा के आपको फोन करके मीटिंग में नहीं बोलेगा, अरे वो ईमेल भेजा है. Because that person, the receiver gets the sender gets the assurance that yes, वो आपकी नजर में आ गया है. It has come to your cognizance. Now you will reply when it is appropriate for you or when you have the convenience to do it. But you have registered that yes, you have to attend to it. When you don't respond, he keeps on, मिला कि नहीं मिला, मिला कि नहीं मिला, मिला कि नहीं मिला, अभी तक इसका कुछ रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आया. फोन उठाएगा, अरे पूनम मेल भेजा है, तुमने देखा क्या? And Poonam is busy talking to some another client and yeah, ting. हाँ मैं देखती हूँ. उसका repercussion क्या होता है? Because you cut him down. Another conversation starts in the mind. Oh, she doesn't care. यही busy है क्या? सारा दिन यही काम करती है क्या? हम तो निठल्ले बैठे हुए. I'm not doing anything. I'm a good for nothing. I don't have work. We are human beings. And if this happens a little too often with him or her, they will create that image about you in their mind. And it will slowly start reflecting in his other interactions with you. He will or she will become non-supportive, contradictory. They will make your life difficult. It's a chain reaction. We are human beings. Because this person has picked up the phone, but they don't know you're in conversation on the other line with the boss and he's giving you hell. And so you just said, yeah, I'll call you back. Because you couldn't say anything more. He's not aware of that. But he starts thinking, oh, look at her. She thinks she's the boss. बस उसको क्या है, बिजी दिखना पड़ता है. बिजी होने में और दिखने में बहुत फर्क है. आपको फिर ये लूज कमेंट्स इधर उधर सुनने को मिलेंगे. But if you give that person the assurance, he or she feels satisfied that yes, I am taken note of, I'm worthy of something, I have some place, I have some importance, and I'm given my due respect. They will never ill-treat you. Moreover, they will also give precedence to all mails that come to you and your work. So next time, you put aside somebody else's work, but give you preference. You will get your work done faster. The image that you will send across is that I'm very professional. I'm punctual. I make my commitments and take them seriously. I'm alert. I'm vigilant. And therefore, the other person will also treat you in the same way. This is how you build your image. We don't work at it and then we say, yaar, koi mere ko seriously leta hi nahi hai. My team doesn't take me seriously. No. You don't take yourself seriously. First, learn to do that. Right? Use the reply all feature only when necessary. Yeah. Otherwise, you will be passing unnecessary information to people who are not connected with it. And people start getting irritated. Initially, they'll be interested to know what is going on behind their back. After some time, they start getting irritated when in a page of 50, 60, they have to look for a certain mail and all they can see is your rubbish. Right? Or they open a mail thinking some work needs to be done, but it is not relevant to them. Moreover, the day you will send a serious mail where you need his attention, he will not pay attention. Because uske dimag mein kya record ho gaya hai? This fellow keeps sending things which are not related to me. Yeah, so it's the classic case of शेर आया जिस दिन actually आया कोई नहीं सुनता है. Okay, out of work वाला ये feature use करते हैं आप लोग?
I don't
Suppose you
generally.
take leave, you are on a holiday, you set a out of office message so that people with whom you are dealing on a day-to-day basis, this is a must in bigger organizations, often overlooked in smaller organizations, but it's a good thing to do. Right? So that आप तो चले गए छुट्टी पे, लेकिन आपके पीछे जो आपके क्लाइंट्स और कोवर्कर्स हैं उनको नहीं पता है ना, आप सबको तो नहीं मैसेज भेजते हो. So you leave instructions for them that look, I am out from this date to this date, right? For this work, contact XYZ. For this work, contact XYZ. I will be back on this date. So if you want to wait, I will be next available on this date. Now it is his discretion. If he wants immediate resolution, he will contact either of those people. If he can wait, that is his choice. He will wait for you to come back. This is also part of good manners. Secondly, how does it work in your benefit? अरे छुट्टी पे जा रहे हो तो email बंद करो ना. Otherwise, what happens? You're taking a day out with your family, but the whole day you're sitting and answering mails on your phone. Is that a holiday? Finally, your wife says, क्यों लिया छुट्टी? ऑफिस में बैठते ना. करते हैं ना पूनम हम ये? हाँ, इससे अच्छा है कर दो ना. तो जो भी आपको मेल भेजेगा उसको फटक से ये रिस्पॉन्स चला जाएगा. What is to be included in that? A friendly professional greeting, how long you will be away, when a sender can expect a response, who to contact if there is an emergency, and what are your routine tasks, how are they need to be performed. See, look at this example. Thank you for your email. I'm currently out of office on vacation with my family from June so and so, and will not have access to email during this time. I will be returning to the office on Monday so and so, and will be sure to respond to your message as quickly as possible. अभी मंडे को आया है तो मंडे को ही रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा ऐसा नहीं है, तो आप अपने लिए टाइम लेते हो. Right? If you need assistance in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to my manager so and so at so. This is the email ID. This is the number. If you are reaching out about the week's inventory report, because there are some jobs which I have to do as a routine, तो वो उतने टाइम के लिए मैं किसको हैंड ओवर करके गया हूं? Please reach out to my colleague at so and so. Have a great week. Thank you. You are also Shant. People are also shant. Everybody knows where you are, who you are, when are you going to come back, finish. If you're taking a day out with your family, if you're taking a vacation with your family, be with your family. Physically there, mentally in the office, what is the point? Right? So if we look at it from the work-life balance, that is also very important. Right? So do justice to your family, do justice to your work also. Both are taken care. Now, long messages. Ideally, they are best avoided. But sometimes it becomes unavoidable. So what you do, there are two ways of looking at it. Either you give a summary in the beginning or you give a table of contents. It should come right in the beginning so that it immediately fills the screen that is opened so that the person can read what is there. Then it is the receiver's discretion. If he has the time, he will go through it all. If he doesn't have the time, he will understand that, okay, this I have to read. I will do it as soon as I'm free. Right? See, here is a sample. This is an example of a summary. Our profit margin has gone down by so-and-so. As a result, I'm proposing the following. Or you can use a table of contents. This email contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rule is whatever headings you're giving over here, the paragraphs have to go by those headings only. And then in that order. So decide the chronology and decide the titles of each paragraph and use those. Now here, the receiver has got complete clarity. What is this mail about? He can take the decision of reacting it, taking action on it at his convenience and his discretion. Moreover, it brings clarity. Right? So long emails can be handled like this. ASAP, FYI, urgent. Our famous, very popular, very, क्या बोलना चाहिए? Favorite words. What does ASAP mean?
As soon as possible.
When we write that, what is exactly we are telling that person?
Do it so urgently.
Huh?
Do it very urgently.
No. What ASAP says as soon as possible means don't sit and twiddle your thumbs. Do some work, idiot. This is what it implies. गधे अभी तो काम कर ले. And therefore, it should never be so. If you want an immediate action, clarify very clearly that you want a response within this time and why do you want it? Because I have to forward it to my client. Or there is a forthcoming meeting over the weekend with the rest of the departments and we have to present a report. Don't just write, please, ASAP, as soon as possible, at the earliest. वो British time में चलता था. हम हर letter को लिखते थे at the earliest. But what it implies is you're not doing your work, you're not efficient, you're lazy. Right? FYI. See, it puts the pressure on the person, ASAP. It's like putting a gun to somebody's head. Would you like it? Don't you get that feeling when somebody writes ASAP to you? It's like somebody's put a gun on my forehead. Don't do that. It implies, अच्छा इसको लगता है as soon as possible. मेरे को दूसरा कोई काम नहीं है क्या? This comes to your mind immediately. Oh, he thinks I'm just sitting and twiddling my thumbs. So if you need something quickly, please explain why. Right? Now, FYI, for your information only. Many a times we just write FYI and forget about it. Subject line में लिख देंगे FYI. अरे but if it is that important, मेरे को बता दो ना. फोन करके बता दो. So FYI, You need to write, why are you sending it? Why is it only important as an information tool? Okay, it is something interesting I thought you might want to know. Like I write, normally if I use FII, I write for your information only, no action required. So I make it clear in the subject line itself that I don't require any response or this thing. तो उसको इंटरेस्टिंग लगेगा, टाइम होगा तो खोल के पढ़ लेगा, नहीं होगा तो ठीक है, वैसे भी कोई डैमेज तो होने नहीं वाला है ना? बट डोंट FYI करके और उसको unexplained when we leave it, we again create unnecessary stress. Urgent is again, if it is urgent, pick up the phone and talk to that person, or just get up and go and see him in the room and talk. Well, what is the point in writing urgent in a mail? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know when that person is going to look at it. He may be sitting in a meeting with the chairman. He'll be free after 3 hours, and I'm writing urgent. Urgent means now, na? If at all you have to write urgent, please explain why it is urgent. Right? So, client needs response today. Now that is urgent. Immediate action required. Right? So, okay. What kind of tone? Confident, courteous, sincere, with appropriate emphasis, non-discriminatory language, right? The you attitude, we talked about it yesterday. We'll talk more about these points tomorrow. So I'm not going to go into details. Now I'm going to come to the interesting part. Okay, so 4 tips for writing a great professional email. Identify your audience, know well who you are writing to. Be specific, write to the point. Keep it absolutely simple. Right? We actually, I put another S over there and I say, use the KISS formula. Keep it simple, stupid. Before you joined, I was talking to Somil and I was saying, see, one golden rule in communication, whether it is verbal or it is written, write as if you're writing to a person who is absolutely an idiot. अगर idiot भी पढ़ेगा, उसको समझ में आता है, तो आपका communication perfect है. So my communication at any level has to be idiot proof. If an idiot can understand, anybody can understand. So keep that level of simplicity. Right? We try to show our linguistic skills. We think we'll use heavy words, right? That is okay with Shashi Tharoor. He's an idiot. No, he's not an idiot. He's a bombastic person. Right? But do you understand what he says? I mean, everybody says if you have to talk to Shashi Tharoor, you have to carry a dictionary. Right? You don't want to be giving that kind of an image, isn't it? So keep it simple. हमेशा लोएस्ट डिनोमिनेटर को ध्यान में रख के अपने सेंटेंसेस फ्रेम करो, अपना मैसेज को फ्रेम करो. अगर उसको समझ में आता है तो अगर आपने कुछ लिखा और ऑफिस बॉय को बोला पढ़ने को क्या समझा और उसने अगर परफेक्ट आपको रिपीट करके बताया ये समझा मैंने एंड यू आर सेटिस्फाइड, वो समझ गया, तो फिर आपका चेयरमैन तो समझ ही जाएगा. राइट? Showcase your professional etiquette. If you keep your formatting, your language, your tone, your messaging absolutely focused and on point, it will create a very favorable impression. Okay, any issues about email etiquette, formatting, etc.? Anything I have left out? You have a doubt? Think about it and you can raise your hand when you want. Now, the second section. is the messaging part, and the most difficult one is bad news email, isn't it? We don't know how to give bad news. Or are you okay with it, Somen?
No. Very difficult.
Very
Very,
difficult.
very difficult.
Poonam?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So we're going to spend time today. We're going to talk about how to write bad emails. We're going to talk about how do we give bad news to employees. How do we deal with angry mails, and how do we settle conflicts? Because these are the most difficult in email writing, right? Okay, so what are the reasons that you have to give? What kind of bad news usually in a workplace we have to give people?
Any memos or terminations or something?
Huh?
Or might be yesterday you gave an example of blocking the bonuses or something like that. That the bonus would be delayed.
Okay, bonus is delayed. It's really a bad news. What else, Poonam?
Holidays are cancelled, or extra working is to be done, or
Extra
additional
working hours,
holiday.
yes. Non-paid, right?
Yeah.
See, usually it is change in a company policy. It is something radical change. Taking disciplinary action over somebody. Experiencing financial challenges. Okay, financial crunch आ गया, salary delay होगा, या इस बार कम मिलेगा, या next month मिलेगा, इस महीने नहीं मिलेगा, bonus नहीं मिलेगा, right? Discussing poor performance, सबसे difficult. Alerting customers or colleagues to a mistake. That's finger pointing, na? Right? Backing out of a commitment or canceling an event or a promotion. Right? Could be more also, but broadly, these are the ones. So what happens is, how do we write bad? I'll take this down. No. How do we write them? Yeah. Very important thing is, first, get your facts right. Never get into this zone without preparation. Who is involved? What is the news? Who's taken a decision? Why it needs to be done? To whom it needs to be given? Get your facts correct. Check the company policies. It may not be in all instances, but most. You don't want suddenly to end up with a legal case against you. किसी ने slap कर दिया case. नहीं sir, आप मेरा bonus नहीं withhold कर सकते. क्योंकि उसके बारे में आपने कुछ ऐसा, जब भी उसको साइन लिया था ज्वाइनिंग के टाइम पे, उसमें तो कुछ लिखा नहीं था, है ना? You never know when people will catch you at the back foot. Decide if email is the best channel. How bad is the news? If it is really very bad, please go and talk, or at least pick up the phone. So be very judicious. Decide, is it really necessary for me to send this email, or do I need to talk about it? Choose the correct tone. If you're writing to your team, it can be informal. But if you're writing to a customer, it has to be very formal. Share the news in the beginning. Don't start with your story and then last May, and because of this, we are saying goodbye to you. Right? So this will be, Somil, always decreasing order. So main news pehla. This is the decision taken due to these circumstances. It has been decided by the management that we have to request you to leave. I'm putting it very, very simply, but yeah, right? Then give an explanation why you have come to that decision. If something has, you have blooped up at your end, और आपको पता है आपसे गलती हुई, तो भैया प्लीज माफी मांग लो. Apologize. But Avoid being emotional. Don't give emotional, sentimental reasons. There also you need to be very objective. Stick to the event, apologize for the reaction, for the behavior. Don't go into emotional reasoning and excuses. Keep an even tone. And usually these mails should be very, very short. You just write that you regret this mistake and you ensure that it will not be repeated again. Right? Offer a resolution. If a solution is needed, what action you will take further, right? And provide for a way the reader to contact you. If he wants more explanation, something more needs to be taught, please keep that door open where the person can contact you. Right? Some basic tips: be direct, be honest, and especially if it is within the organization, consult your HR, particularly if it is a disciplinary issue, if it is about promoting somebody or demoting somebody, then keep the HR in the loop. Right? Anything you all would like to add or any particular difficulty you all face? Somil?
No, this is precise enough. This is the direction.
This is?
This is the direction.
This is
I'm
the
getting the
direction.
direction.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, we are delivering bad news to employees. What are the kinds of bad news? You're not going to get promoted. You're not going to get a raise. Work hours are increased. Change in work location, you're relocated. Change in benefits, some perks are denied. Worse, loss of job, right? Performance review, poor performance review, downsizing or laying off people, right? Closing of an office branch entirely, right? And denial of professional development or a training request. Now, this is to your employees. So it's like within the family, right? Again, here, research is very important. Preparing yourself is very important. What is the reason? It needs to be a concrete reason. Who has made the decision? Is it your autonomous decision or there are other people involved? Also think through what could be the potential questions from the receiver. Be prepared. ये मेरे को क्या पूछेगा? तो मेरे पास उसको satisfy करने लायक आंसर होना चाहिए. So preparation is very, very necessary. Don't rush into it headlong. Give it a thought. Think of the whole conversation. Think of the language, the words you will use, the tonality you will use. In fact, personally for me, I visualize the whole scene. This will be my response. This will be my body language. I even think, what am I going to wear that day? Where am I going to sit? Where is this meeting going to happen? And I visualize that interaction in my mind again and again and again, so that when I'm actually delivering it, it becomes easy for me. And I even see the response of the person. So I manifest it actually that, okay, it will not be difficult. Yes, of course, the person will not be very happy, but he will not be difficult. Okay, what questions is he going to ask? How am I going to answer them? Is that answer plausible? Will it go down with him? That level of preparation you need to have. Good news is okay, that is all happy. You know, when people are happy, half the things they don't remember. But when you're delivering a bad news, even a small pause, they will remember, oh, what was he trying to say? Practice. Like I said, I visualize, I practice, I stand in front of the mirror and actually talk. Avoid small talk. Now, this is again a very common habit. इधर उधर की बात करेंगे because we are so reluctant. We are not bad people. We don't enjoy it. So we try to create a little easy environment. Don't do that. It is a bad news. You're asking him, अरे वो नया स्त्री 2 देखा क्या? अरे मस्त पिक्चर था ना. By the way, यार मैनेजमेंट ने बोला कल से तेरे को आने का जरूरत नहीं है. Is it going to lessen the blow? Right. So maintain the dignity and the decorum and the seriousness of that time, of that issue. So don't crack jokes, don't do small talk. घर पे क्या चल रहा है? Okay, how's the family? No, come straight to the point. Right. You can start in saying that it's a little serious matter, so that the receiver will also become oriented कि ये जो बोला जा रहा है ये मेरे को सुनना पड़ेगा. So don't beat around the bush. Use direct language. Don't go round. Call the spade a spade. This is what professionalism means. To be able to talk hard when it is required to talk hard. Yes, empathy is required. So don't be rude. Don't judge the person. Don't blame him. Don't accuse him or her. Show that sensitivity. But don't get emotional. Don't try to go roundabout. Provide the context. Get that person to understand why this is happening. What is his role? How has the management seen it? Why has it come to this point? Give him a chance and time to respond. आपको क्या कहना है? He will have a story to tell. He will have his side of the story. You will have to listen to that also. You have to give that opportunity. Right? And very clearly establish what are the next steps. Don't leave it open-ended. Bring it to a conclusion. क्या action आप लेने वाले हैं? क्या expected है? Okay, so it has been decided that you will go for a month-long training. Fine. Or it has been decided that we should suspend you from work for 2 weeks. Okay. Or it has been decided that we have to part company. Okay. Right. Then as per the conditions, either you submit a resignation because it will not be advisable. Generally, companies don't give a termination letter unless it is absolutely a very strong case of indiscipline and malpractice. है ना? हम सामने वाले को अपॉर्चुनिटी देते हैं कि भैया तेरा 1 महीना का नोटिस ले और जा. हाँ, उस पर निगोशिएट हो जाता है. इमीडिएट दे देंगे या वो करेंगे. बट ठीक है. बट बी वेरी क्लियर आपको क्या चाहिए. कन्वे इट क्लियरली. Don't leave it to guessing, right? Be direct, be honest, take responsibility, right? Allow time for response, focus on the future, follow through, be respectful, be caring, right? Just a second. I have a sample here. Yeah, right? So this was one of the mail, right? Samil, this is your mail that you shared.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So this is your version, right?
I'm unable to see the email.
You're unable to see? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. So it has, Poonam, can you see also? Yeah. So it has been observed you have been constantly breaking professional code of conduct with reference to these points, right? Now, it appears that you're falling short for living core values. ठीक है, ये पूरा जो है. Now, how can this be further improved? See, firstly, you can see this point is very good. You have mentioned it very clearly. But here again, it is one big paragraph, too much to read, and it's lost. The content is lost.
Okay.
Right? So, clarity and specificity is missing. Right? Tone and professionalism, right? Somewhere this term is used, defaulter, which is a very harsh word. So we
Okay.
have to be very careful how we are saying things, right? Where is it? Even I missed it. So the whole tone is, there is too much use of you.
Okay.
So the tone is accusative. It is like an accusation.
Okay.
And when you give the people this kind of stuff, they will go on the defensive. It's natural for human beings to do that. People become more attached to defending themselves and justifying what they're doing is right, and they refuse to see what wrong they have done.
Okay.
Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now, for example, this line only, right? Also, it has been observed that you have made no efforts in remaining up to date, right? No need to say you. It has been observed that there has been no effort in remaining up to date, right? Despite
That is a
updating.
jargon.
Yeah.
That is a jargon.
What is a jargon?
Also, it has been observed that utna pura part.
No, that is okay. It has been observed that I'm saying don't use you have made no efforts.
Okay.
I'm just asking you to replace the pronoun you. Too much
Okay.
use of you and I becomes egoistic, you becomes accusative. So better to avoid these two pronouns as much as possible. So focus on the action, not the person. So despite, repeated reminders, no efforts were seen taken. I'm not saying you. So I'm keeping the focus only on the action and not blaming the person. नहीं तो उसके दिमाग में तुरंत आता है नहीं, I must defend this. Right? Despite updating these pointers to you, again you, multiple times by the branch manager, you have been a defaulter. Now that's a very harsh thing to say. Right? Despite updating of these pointers, right? Despite reminders, right? No change was seen. Right? Okay, so I'll not go too much in detail with this right here, right? Tone and professionalism, compassion and support. Okay, all right, yes, that person has done wrong, but that doesn't mean you have to become harsh with him, right? So how can you show compassion and support? Okay, what help do you want from us? Right? What can we do about it? Right? Structure and formatting, use bullet points. See, I'll show you a version of this, right? So the same thing. I hope this message finds you well. We have noticed several recurring issues regarding your adherence to professional code of conduct. Specifically, the following areas have been of concern. Now, you have very clearly taken each point is taken here and explained. What you did is you took some bullet points in the beginning and then you made a khichdi of the paragraph.
Okay.
Now, instead of doing that, you take each point and very specifically talk about the actions that have not been taken. So punctuality and attendance, frequent late arrivals, unplanned leaves. If you can provide dates, even better, because email is a documented record.
Yes.
Insufficient leave intimation and delegation of responsibilities. Very clear. No you, no I.
Correct.
Only the action, only the behavior. Always understand feedback. The golden rule is stick to the behavior, not the person. Judge the behavior, not the person. Action पे बात करो, person पे मत करो. हम क्या करते हैं? You are like that only. You have been told so many times, you have still not improved. Oh, don't talk about that. That is why over here you will see there is no use of I or you. Look at the next point, process and time management. Difficulty in following time processes for the children. Poor adherence to session timing. Professional development, lack of effort. Somil, don't worry, I'm sharing this with you.
Yeah. I'm noting down my points. No problem.
Okay, your points, right. Professional development, lack of effort to stay updated. Meeting participation, irregular attendance on meeting, Monday morning meetings, right? Now, after that, a very brief paragraph, वो भी 3 paragraph में बांटा है. These behaviors are not in alignment with the core values of our organization. Still, there is no I, there is no you. And have impacted our ability to, and you're talking about the organization, not you personally.
Correct.
Despite multiple discussions and reminders from the branch manager, these issues have not been resolved. Nowhere it is written, you have not taken action.
Correct.
Right? If you wish to discuss this, sorry, as we have zero tolerance policy for breaches in the code of conduct, we regret to inform you that we must discontinue your service. Now the context is clear. This is what we are going to do, why we are going to do it. Right? And if you wish to discuss this matter, please feel free to contact us. We would like to support. Right? Finish. No I, no you. At the most, we. Because this onus has to go on the organization. You have nothing personally to do with it.
Yes.
Right? The second message you had shared, right? Again, as discussed during our meeting today. Now see such a big paragraph. Who's going to read it? Right? Again, broken down. Session quality, professional conduct, next steps. Again, you will see it has been observed. No I, no you. Unless very critical. Right? So this makes it very clear to the person. Now, imagine if you receive, put yourself in these two people's shoes. Will you have anything to say in the meeting? Very little.
Not that much, yes.
Right? So who's strong over here? The sender or the receiver?
In that case, the sender becomes strong.
Sender is strong, no? He's made his point very clear. सामने वाले को भी समझ में आ गया, I can't bullshit through this. One. Secondly, he's very clear, okay, these are my specific mistakes.
Correct.
So what goes on in the mind is कि हाँ अब ये तो हो गया है, अब इसको मैं कैसे बचाऊं? तो उसका फोकस डिफेंस पे नहीं जाएगा, उसका फोकस रिपेयर पे जाएगा. आप समझे डिफरेंस? डिफेंस में होता है कि आई विल प्रूव दिस गाय रॉन्ग एंड प्रूव दैट आई एम इनोसेंट. But now after reading this, his focus will be, oh God, now how do I save my job? What amends do I have to make? Now what I have to do? So instead of blaming, he will now become more receptive to whatever you want to change in him. After receiving that first letter, if I'm told that this thing will be terminated, I will have very little to say.
Correct.
These things have happened. I will have some justification. Okay, fine. But you can build on that. Okay, then why did you not? If this was the challenge, why did you not share? Now you have an answer. So, madam, had you been regular in the Monday meetings, we could have discussed this in one of the meetings. Why did you not put forth? But for that, you have to be attendant. ना? अभी आप देखो ओनस उस पे रहेगा, आप पे नहीं रहेगा. So you are free and safe. And will this bad news be contested by the receiver? Hardly. Yes, Poonam, agreed or not? दो चीजें वोकैबुलरी में से निकाल दो, I and you. इसका इस्तेमाल जितना कम यूज करोगे आप वर्क प्लेस पे, believe me, you will become a better leader and a better manager. Be objective. Never accuse, never point a finger, never blame a person, never judge a person. Talk about the action that has happened today and how to rectify it. That's it. We carry things forward. We make it personal. And then the other person also makes it personal, and it's a dead end street. It's not going to take you anywhere. It's definitely not going to take the other person anywhere. Yeah?
True.
Okay, coming back to more bad news. Right? So again here, be direct, be honest, take the responsibility, give the chance to the other person to respond. Focus more on what can be done. If there is scope for some understanding, for some way of repairing the situation, do that. If not, then very clearly communicate that no, this cannot be done. Follow through. If you have given that person certain instructions that this is what he needs to do, then you need to follow through that. See to it that it is being done. फिर छोड़ मत दो. फिर 6 महीने बाद तुमको बोला था, पर मेरे को पता चला तुमने कुछ किया नहीं. अरे पर तुमने बोला था, तो तुमने 3 महीना भी एटलीस्ट उसको ऑब्जर्व किया क्या? फॉलो अप लिया क्या? फीडबैक लिया कि कुछ और चाहिए, तकलीफ तो नहीं हो रही, दिक्कत है क्या, कुछ और सीखना है, कुछ और समझना है. राइट? तो रास्ते पे मत छोड़ दो उसको. बी रिस्पेक्टफुल. सी, whatever the person has done, you do not have the right to disrespect anybody. Your personal point of view, keep it personal. Don't discuss it with other team members. People will come. Lunch time, this time, tea time. Always remember, your most casual comment made in the most casual moment will be remembered by the people who work under you, and it will be used against you. It will help them form an opinion about you. If you are in a management responsibility, you can never relax being a manager. Be very careful of what you're saying in front of whom. Even when you're discussing, the team will talk about it. Keep it impersonal there also. Don't express your opinion. Keep talking about the action that has happened. Keep talking about the issue that has happened, but don't give your personal judgment on it. That will be a reflection on you. People, the other team members will judge you by that. And they will go out and multiply it. Because bad news travels faster than good.
Yes.
Isn't it? People don't find it easy to talk about good about somebody, but it's very easy to talk bad about anybody. So be very careful. Okay. Disciplinary action. This is the toughest one. Isn't it? Taking disciplinary action. A warning notice, right? Misconduct could be anything, unwilling to do job, issues of attendance, breach of company policy. The most severe ones are fraud, malpractices. Those are very, very severe and they have to be dealt in a different manner, sometimes taking the legal department into mind. But general, I have a question for you. Should an employee be sent a warning email? What do you think? Can you send? It's like giving a memo to a person, isn't it? And an email is documented, recorded. So it becomes permanent. It's as good as the written paper. Earlier, क्या होता था? Memos मिलते थे, वो आपके personal file में जाते थे. अभी email भी record ही होता है ना? तो क्या लगता है आपको? ये disciplinary action पे email पे आप दे सकते हैं या नहीं देना चाहिए?
Would that be on based on HR policies also of the organization?
Yes, it will be based on HR policies. And I was doing a little bit of research and HR people are a little divided on this. Some say no, some say it's all right, it's okay. I believe I'll take the middle path. I think this should first go with a verbal warning, a person-to-person conversation, and the email can be used as a recording device. That, okay, this discussion has taken place and it has been recorded. But it should not be कि मैं आई आज ऑफिस मेल खोला और सबसे पहले ये आ गया. You're gone. Okay. So I think it is good. Sensitive issues should first be discussed in person. And then for the sake of recording, documentation, they can be put on.
Right.
Now, what happens when you are angry? The golden rule is respond, don't react. What is the difference?
When you're responding, you're not acting impulsively. When you're reacting, you're acting very impulsively.
I beg your pardon?
When you're responding, you're not acting impulsively, but when you're reacting, you are very impulsive in your thoughts.
Yeah. So reaction is instinctive, na? It's like you throw a stone at a dog and he will bark.
Yes.
Response is a well thought out choice you make. That is why we say responsibility. You know, the meaning of the word responsibility is responsibility. I have the choice. There is a pause between response and ability. Responsibility. That pause is very important. That is where I make the choice how I have to conduct myself. So, but our instinctive We go by our instincts, isn't it? So we react. Ah, how dare he write this? I'll show him that. What the hell do you think about yourself? And I have done this and I've done that. And you write another stinker. Right? So the first thing is, please cool down. The rule is wait 24 hours before you respond. One of my mentors used to always say, I still remember, used to call him Kaka. He was a retired squadron leader from the Indian Air Force. And he used to always tell one of the Zen stories, where one of the Zen monks told his disciples, if somebody gives you a feedback which you don't like, don't respond immediately. 24 घंटे जाने, क्या पता वो जो बोल रहा है वो सच ही हो, पहले उसको इवैल्यूएट तो करो. So whatever the person is telling you, whatever he's sharing, okay, it is his side of the story, but it's telling you something. And guess if he's getting the wrong side of the stick, that means something has been amiss at your end. आप उसको ठीक से नहीं बता पाए हो या समझा पाए हो, है ना? पहले उसको तो रिव्यू करो. We become too busy in accusing. We become emotional and we write emotional language, and don't worry. It's just a child. Don't get it, this thing, right? Then stick to the issue. Again, don't judge the person. Don't go into, oh, this fellow, I know he thinks like this only. He never respects me. He has this on. No, Baba, it is this issue. What has gone wrong in this issue? Think of the event, not the person. Be courteous when you are replying. And howsoever you may have a good response, good relation with that person, you may be good friends, whatever, good colleagues. In this instance, when you're replying back, reply formally. Why? That is the best way to keep emotions out. And the message you're giving to that person is, भैया मुद्दे पे बात करते हैं, बाकी छोड़. मैं कौन हूँ, क्या हूँ, कैसे करता हूँ, तू क्या है, मैं तेरे को भाई समझा, मैं तेरे को बाप समझा, मैं तेरे को फ्रेंड समझा, तू ऐसा बोला. All that nonsense is not required yet. Therefore, greet formally, maintain a formal tone, speak to the point. Clear, concise statement. What is the purpose of your email? It has been my observation that there has been some misunderstanding. Again, you. Nahin. Don't accuse neither him nor yourself. Don't blame neither him nor yourself. Don't justify neither your actions nor his actions. Keep emotions out. So no you. ईगो भी बाहर रखो, ब्लेम भी बाहर रखो, एक्यूजेशन भी बाहर रखो, इवेंट पे बात करो, क्या क्या हुआ. So what is the purpose? It has been observed that this has happened. There seems to be a misunderstanding over here, right? This mail is an attempt to clear that misunderstanding, right? Let's talk about the specific issue. So I want to address it like this. This is what I want to do. Describe the issue objectively. No emotional language. Give examples. If there are facts, figures, dates, timing, give that to maintain clarity and to bring that concreteness to your message, right? If there is a specific example, give the example, right? What does it say? Yeah, express your feelings professionally. Okay, right? It has deeply hurt me to see that, your short-sightedness or your reaction. But don't go waxing eloquent about your emotions. But people tend to start relating. I have always treated you as my friend. I have always treated you as my son, as my brother, as my this. Wow, nonsense. Not required. But yes, you can say you have been hurt by the lack of faith that has been shown. Right? You would have appreciated if you would have personally come and sorted this issue out with me. This one you can say, no issue. Right? Okay, then bring what is the solution. Now, how to resolve it? What to do next? Again, focus on what is possible rather than what is not possible. Can this be discussed further? Okay, so this is important. Maybe we can have a follow-up meeting. Maybe we can talk over it, right? Best is to meet. So could we schedule a meeting? Close politely. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I look forward to your response. Proofread before hitting the send button. Recheck your tone, recheck your vocabulary, and only then send. Let's look at a sample. Okay, I'll discuss conflict also, and then we'll look at both the samples because they are together. Can you all see this? Can you all see the screen?
It has not changed yet.
I thought as much. Yeah. We finished discussing this, right? Yeah. Now, conflicts, right? Oh, what is happening to me? धर्मेश का 10 मिनट अभी तक नहीं हुआ. He sent me a message, I'm joining in 10 minutes and he's gayab. He travels far. Yeah. Okay. Same rule. Conflict situation. Respond but don't react. Keep your focus on resolving, not on escalating. From the beginning. So get into this exercise that I want to find a solution, not on how I want to take it further. Right? So be focused on finding a solution. Don't get personal. Keep the communication chain open. Be honest. Encourage the other person to share his or her point of view. Follow up, because this is not something that may be resolved maybe in one mail. People will come back with their response. You may have to respond to that again, right? Know when to escalate. It's easy to escalate. कोई time नहीं लगता है. But उसमें danger क्या होता है? Frequent escalations. Who's the loser in the escalation?
It's us mostly.
Huh?
It's us mostly, us.
Yes. How?
Because the higher management thinks that you are not liable or not responsible enough to
Capable.
not capable enough.
If you're not able to handle conflict at your level, that means you don't have the capability.
Yes.
Right? तो सोच समझ के escalate करो. बॉस तक क्या बात जानी चाहिए, क्या नहीं जानी चाहिए. हमको लगता है इसको दिखा देंगे मेरी कितनी पहुंच है. The boss is in my pocket. He listens to whatever I say. No. Secondly, the boss also gets irritated. Why are you bringing everything to my table? Why have I kept you? So it's everything is again back, it backfires. Your reputation in the organization becomes ye to warmonger is. This fellow is always looking for a battle. People will stop trusting you. They will stop confiding in you. They will stop making you part of their projects. So the loser is you. Right? Oh, that is it. Okay. So now let's look at the samples. Oh, yeah. Can you all see?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a format, right? So if you're angry, subject, concerned regarding whatever is your issue, right? Then I hope this message, see how brief it is. Very short, right? In case of conflict also, it's the same. This is slightly longer. I'll share this with you so you all can. Ata he kai? What is this? Right? I'll share with this so you can spend some time reading the vocabulary, how it is used, the sentence structures, how they are used. Right? Okay. I'm also going to share with you all some email templates.
Okay.
Especially about how to write emails to your senior authorities. It is easy to write to them. Yes, Samin?
Sorry?
Easy to write to your seniors? Bosses?
Kind of, yes.
Bad news to the boss. Now, you know what happens is when the team is very well knit and it is small, it is easy. But if you work in bigger organizations where you may have multiple bosses, it becomes difficult. Right? Okay. So, Samil, can I have your attention?
Sure.
Yeah. So these are some templates with different. So how to write email to your boss? What are the things? Yeah. You want to request time off. You want to ask a question related to workplace confirmation, right? There are some samples, reason for an email, right? Add a closing. There are some templates, thank you emails, time of request emails, completed task confirmations, deadline change requests, sharing informations. These are actually prototypes. You can just pick them up and put in, make them appropriate to your context. You don't have to break your head. Keep these templates with you.
Okay.
So you don't have to again and again, think of drafting it all over again.
Correct.
They're easy. Time of request, deadline change request, sharing information, right? So they will help you. Any specific question, because I have come to the end of today's lesson. How did it go, Poonam, for you? Did you learn something? You're on mute.
Yes, a lot. Many things I got like somewhere even I'm also mistaken.
Taking it.
So after getting interacted with you, much things are got clear that where I should correct myself.
So I'll be sharing the link with you and with Jay.
Yeah.
Keep listening to it again and again because you will not get everything at one time.
Yeah.
Saman, what about you?
That's true.
Was it useful today?
That's true. Yes, 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 yes. Many things which you just auto-corrected from my texts, already pre-existing texts, is definitely helping. And see, somehow, I myself am lacking in this kind of a culture of communication officially, formally, because we have not been used to and exposed to and trained for the same. So somehow that basic training is lacking. So I wanted to start from somewhere wherein any
Yeah, but
kind of a written
we have picked
communication.
up the thread from the middle because you
True,
need to understand the communication
true, true,
aspect
true,
of
true,
it also.
true.
It,
No, but whatever I'm getting is definitely going to be useful
yeah, yeah,
overall, anyway.
overall, yes.
Yes,
But
true.
a more deeper understanding will
Yes.
help you. So you can enroll for my full 8 weeks course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is also there because that deals a lot with, we go into details of what is actually the communication process? How does it affect people? How do we see
Correct.
things? How do people form their opinions? How do we respond to
Mm,
them? And in that, perception plays a very big role. Our belief system plays a
yes.
role. My upbringing, my cultural, social context plays a role. Right?
True.
When you learn so many things, listening, we take it very casually, but it's a very deep thing. How to listen and how to
Mm,
act upon listening. Feedbacks, managing teams, going deeper into conflicts. Why do they happen? At what
yes.
stage do they need to be handled? What are the different strategies of handling conflicts?
True.
कहाँ पे भिड़ना है, कहाँ पे झुकना है, कहाँ पे एडजस्ट करना है, राइट? कहाँ पे
Yes.
हाथ बढ़ाना है वो हमको पता नहीं होता. हम एक फॉर्मूला हर जगह लगाते हैं
Hmm.
और वो
Mm,
हमारी हैबिट हो जाती है. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वी सफर इन आवर रिलेशनशिप्स, वी सफर इन आवर प्रोफेशनल relations and work because we don't know how to adapt ourselves to our environment.
true.
That is
True.
very important. That is what we need to learn, right?
Yeah.
Anything else for today? Otherwise, we will close and meet again tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Poonam, you're most welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Tomorrow, we will talk about how tone plays a role in communication, particularly in email,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
we'll keep an open Q&A. So come prepared with your questions. There can be any questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
you
Sure.
can answer for specific emails and I can answer for general communication also.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
See you guys tomorrow. I'll put the
Thank
link
you. See
tomorrow
you.
morning.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good
Sure.
night.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Which
Thank you so
area
much.
of Nagpur are you in, Samal?
Pratap Nagar.
Huh?
Pratap Nagar. Pratap Nagar.
It is not in Nagpur, around Nagpur?
No, it is inside Nagpur only. It is the new side of Nagpur, more
That's a
near the
new.
airport.
Okay, near the airport side. Huh?
Kamla, Chhatrapati Square, that kind of an area.
I was in Nagpur. I'm 60 today. I was Nagpur. I was around 10 years old. Yeah, so that's almost
Okay.
years ago.
Many years back.
Many years. We used to stay in that Ambajari lake side, you know. I was at Dharampet and the dance factory was, Mahindra's was in Ambajari.
So Ambasari Lake is quite close by from here, from
Okay, so it
Pratap
must be
Nagar.
that
So
line. That
hardly
was
takes 5-7
Dharampet,
minutes.
Saroj Nagar market was there.
1.5 to 2 kilometers away. अभी
Oh,
वो
so
सब change हो
in
गया
the
है. अभी
vicinity.
वो सब change हो गया है.
सभी चेंज हो गया. अभी तो उसको मार्केट को कुछ और बोलते होंगे, पता नहीं. गॉड नोस.
अभी मेट्रो वगैरह भी आ गया ना वहां पर मेट्रो
हाँ,
कनेक्टिविटी है
मेट्रो भी आ गया.
अंबाजरी
अभी तो
लेक के लिए.
फ्लायओव्हर्स बहुत है ना वहां पे,
Yes.
राईट? आणि
And
तुमच्या
earlier there
नाशिकमध्ये
was
एकच
this.
फ्लायओव्हर आहे, त्याच्यावरच लोक असे करतात.
Good night.
Such a sleepy town, my God. 30 years I lived in Nashik. Poonam, I got fed up of it, Mike. Chalo, good night.
Yeah. Chalo.
Good night. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.